on. Okay, we should be recording. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. Appreciate everybody being here. First thing I wanted to cover tonight is I got this email today at looks like 12:30, and that Bruce, I'm remembering that Bruce sent out an evaluation to you earlier this spring, a self-evaluation that you were to fill out. Make sure that you go back and find that and send it either to Bruce or to me, or probably be best to send it to me if you didn't send it in. It looks like we're going to have some sort of a meeting. Now, I was not asked to do the other evaluation. I'm guessing Bruce did it. I don't know. So I went to the faculty handbook. And it says that you were to submit via email the completed self-assessment. And then the dean or chair completes the dean-chair evaluation. And so I'm guessing Bruce did that. If that in fact was done, because I was not asked to do that. But the main thing is that you need to fill out your self-assessment if you did not do that, because the new dean, Dr. Bull, according to this email, is going to review all adjuncts before assignments for the fall. Now, I already have. Let me see who this is. Hello? This is me. No, thank you. I swear. All right, so to get back my train of thought here, I'm guessing we're going, now I've already done a rough assignment. Please remember that I'm not exactly sure yet of teaching assignments, because we the university has hired us a new faculty member to replace Dr. Neal. I don't know exactly how that happened. Best that I can, I'll tell you what I do know. The position that I'm in was the message from Danny. Yeah, we're still having the meeting, Danny. Let me do that while I'm thinking about it. All right. So the position that I was in, I was moved to full-time in, I don't know, last April or May. It was considered to be interim until December. In December, I was told it was full-time. However, I was told that that was revised in March and that the position would be advertised. I did not apply for the position. Then I was asked to apply for the position, and so I guess I applied for the position. And then I was appointed to that position. And in the process of doing this, they found somebody else that they wanted to replace Jerry. So it is true, my position was never advertised. I don't know if any of you are interested in the regular faculty, the 9-month faculty appointment or not. But anyway, during the process, they found who they wanted for the 9-month position and have hired that person. I have not met that person yet. I have talked to that person on the phone. I invited him tonight. I don't know if he was able to come or not. But I don't know what that person is going to be teaching yet, since Dr. Boyles took the Dr. Rogers resigned. Let me start from the beginning. Dr. Birch stepped down effective August from associate provost, is in charge of graduate and professional schools. Dr. Rogers was appointed to that position. He went on leave all summer, and then when he was supposed to come back last week, he resigned. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Dr. Boyles has taken that position that was just got through doing the interim dean. He's now the interim associate provost. So he won't be able to teach this fall is the understanding of the dean. And so those 2 classes are going to have to be filled. The idea is to bring 2 adjuncts in to do that. However, Gardner-Webb doesn't move that fast. The reason I did much with the new person, Dr. Stone, who was to try to get him Blackboard and TaskStream certified so he could teach his 2 classes this fall. That would be a priority. So my suspicion is he may be moved to the LS program to cover for Bruce. If so, that opens up 2 more classes for us. We've got it covered. You folks can do it, and so it's not a problem. But that's why the schedule hadn't come out, is they're still making decisions and hiring people and trying to get sliding people over and doing things. It's been a particularly yes, we're in the meeting. I've sent you 2 emails. Okay. All right. Let me send him another email. Okay. Let me see. Let me do it again. All right, 3rd time. Maybe this is the charm. Steve. Yes. Steve's with us, so we're good.
I had trouble getting out. I didn't get it till right at 6.
Yahoo's not taking the emails from Gardner-Webb for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why, but that's good. Danny will be with us in a minute, maybe. All right, so I said all that to say this. Everything's kind of up in the air with adjunct evaluations, who's going to be filling what roles. I've had my schedule set for 2 months, but it gets changed on a regular basis. Right now, it looks like 6 new add-on classes and 2 new regular classes. That might expand to 7. Because I am advocating that we try to hold the line somewhere near 15 on these add-on licensure classes. We can go up into the 20s on the regulars, but there's twice as much work to do in the add-ons, and I am trying to get that as instituted as a policy that when we hit 15 on the add-on that we open another section. That we just can't expect people to do twice as much work for the same pay. And it's not just the 601, it's that way every semester. See, that was the feedback that I got. Well, it's just those first classes, you can teach those. No, it's not just those first classes. It's every one of them is that way. And we don't lose that many of them. We tend to lose, the thing about starting with 22 master students, by the time we get to 601 or 2 or 3, we're normally down a few on them. But we don't, that's not the way it works with add-on licensure people. We don't lose them like we do the original master's people. So if we start out with 23, we generally end up with 22. And that's just too much. And so that's part of what's going on as well. I'll be back on campus tomorrow. I was there 4 days last week. I had things to do. I couldn't get away from the computer today, and so I wasn't on campus today, but I'll be there in the morning. I was trying to get everything done for graduation, which speaks to where I'm headed next is I've been working all day. I sent out an email to I only had 4.
Wow.
I'll send him another 4th time. All right, so let's talk about wrapping up the semester. All right, so what I was doing today is I was working with students, everybody's students, on competency folios, getting that work in, getting all the things in task stream. I had a lot of questions today that came from various ones about assignment Dropbox, students not having their points because they were only putting things in discussion board and not assignment Dropbox. I hope we've got all those issues solved. That was just operator error. They just weren't putting them in. And so I started sending emails this morning, students who looked like they might not pass because they didn't have enough points. Hopefully you've been getting work coming in all day to grade. I certainly have. Over the weekend, I graded over 300 pieces of work in Blackboard over the weekend. All I had this weekend was my Saturday morning class, my doctoral class, and we were done by lunchtime. So the rest of the time this weekend, I've been burning midnight oil, grading all that work come in. I said that to say this: you need to go to, if you have a class this semester, you need to go to Grade Center, Full Grade Center, and look at where your students are. I always set a point total for mine in terms of what it takes to pass or what it takes to get an A. And I only had 4 today in my 3 classes that didn't qualify for an A. In 603, the point total is 3,000. I had one at 1,900. She's already got hers in enough to get her A. I've got one I think has dropped out about midway through. And I've got 2 that are very close. One's at 27.25 and the other is at 23.50, and I'll have enough from them to get their A before the night is over, I suspect. Now, I've given students till 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, but we've got to turn grades in Wednesday. I talked to the registrar again today. We've got to turn grades in Wednesday. Now, if you're going to give anything below a B, I need to know it before you do it. Because what happens is you give them an F, and then they turn their work in, and then we want to go back and do a grade change, and that has to go to the associate provost because that's a $4,000 decision. That grade change costs the university $4,000, and they don't like that. And so don't make that mistake. If you're gonna fail one, let me know up front so I can review it before it goes. And if it's just simply somebody hadn't turned their work in yet, we might can give them a little extra time. Incomplete withdrawals, those policies are in your class shells. Be very judicious with the use of those as well. We've got one issue with a student who is finishing, Krista Carter. She says she can't put her work in until Thursday. Well, the deadline's Wednesday for graduating students. You're just going to have to make a grade adjustment of what you think she ought to have. Now, if it's going to be below a B, we need to check and make sure that that's not going to cause her GPA to drop below 3 where she can't finish. So if you're planning to give her less than a B, which is a 3.0, so what we've had to happen in the past, like give out B minus, C plus, those kinds of things, let them pass and go on, not realizing that they only had a 3.0 average and it dropped them below the 3.0. They have to retake a class. And again, that's a $4,000 decision. If we then go back and change that grade, they won't let us do that because the associate provost has to okay it because they would have to repeat a class to get their GPA above 3.0. And classes are $4,000. And so
Dale, Krista Carter is in Barbara Todd's class.
right.
So
And I've communicated with her today.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes. And so we're going to see what we can do with that one. But she's just going, but if anybody else has got one like that, before you give anything below a B, let me know so I can check what the grade point average, what the ramifications are going to be. And if it is, we'll accept it. But what I don't want to have to do is go back later on before the fall session starts and ask for a grade change, as I've had to do in the past. And then it's like, the Nuremberg trial. I have to go on interrogation because it's a $4,000 decision. So, I don't want to do that unless we can help it. is, I need to know up front what's going to happen. Now, I know you all know how to put your grades in, and I'll go very quickly on that. If you're unsure about adjunct evaluation, just Google Gardner-Webb University Faculty Handbook, Section 212, Roman numeral 212, and it has all of it out there. See Roman number 212. It actually starts on page 94 if you want to go in and look at that evaluation system.
Dale, if you did it in the spring when they asked you to do it, you don't need to do it.
You don't have to do it again, but if you didn't do it, you need, you got to do one for the fall.
Okay.
That was the email that came out today. My assumption was everybody did it in the spring, but I wasn't in that loop. It came directly to you and not to me.
Well, it was a surprise to me. It just
it was to me too. So, all right. So go to Home Looking Glass in order to put your grades in. Go to Manage Classes. Go to Final Grade Entry. And as you can see, this is my last class that I just entered. Once you enter and submit them, go back to term selection, summer 18. It'll have you do this the first time. Final grades, and then it'll have all the ones that you have to assign grades to. So for me, I've already assigned my consultancy seminar, my doctoral class, 602, 60302, and 06. I assigned them, and then come down to the bottom. I've assigned all my internship people down here at the bottom as well. 697, 698, and 699. I've already done them. So, and I know you know how to do that. When you click on that, submit, and then it shows you what grades that, you put the grade in, and there are your choices again. If you're putting anything below a B in, let me know before you do it and submit it, because once you submit it, in theory, you can go back and change it, but not once it updates. I've already found that out. Once the system updates, you got to go through the whole rigmarole of filing an appeal. It used to be that you could put them in any time and they didn't update until the deadline day, which would be Wednesday. That is not the case now. This group has not updated yet, but at any time between now and Wednesday, when this updates, I can't go back and change a grade. So used to be you could put in the grade now and then go back. There's Dr. Stedman. You could put in the grade now and then go back and change it. You had all the way up the deadline to do that. Don't try that again. I made that mistake last semester myself. I had a couple that had B's, and I went ahead and assigned all the grades and said I'll go back and change those later if they get the gave them an extended deadline. Didn't happen. Oh Lord, what an ordeal it was to get those grades changed. Once you put them in and submit, it's done. All right, and so once you do that and you hit the submit button, and then you can go back to term. So I always go back out to term selection, come back in to the next one, summer 18. Now I have not submitted the final grades. I have not submitted the C2 grades yet. As I said, I've still got 3 that are working on them. So you can see this is what it's going to look like when you go the first time. And then when you go in, you simply assign the grade. Be very careful. I'm not going to assign hers right now because she still has some time. So if you got some like hers that you don't have theirs yet, just don't give them anything. Don't give them anything, and you can submit it. I used to give them what they had right now, and think I could go back and change it. I can't do that. And so, and I simply go in and do, I'm not going to do his, and I'm not going to do, I can do that. All right, so him and her, and she got hers in. So I'm down to 3 now. So I'm just going to leave theirs as a none. And I'm going to submit that. And I'll go back and I will change those 3 later. And if it updates and takes the other grades for them, that's fine. But that old way that we used to do it, where we gave them what they have now and then changed it later, just leave it as a none if you want to go in. So now I've submitted for all my classes. All I've got to do now is monitor those 3 students to see if they get above the 3,000 point value. And when they do, I can go in and change their grade. So then I go back to new Blackboard. I pull up that group. Looks like somebody's put some work in. That's always a good thing. Let's see what's been put in. Oh boy, I've got some stuff in C6. That's what I'm waiting on. So I'm gonna go to C6, that section, and see what I've got. I'm gonna see needs grading, see what's happened. All right. Nope, she's already got hers, but she's still working. So I go to Full Grade Center. And this is what I'm talking about. I have everything linked. And so, as you can see, this is the C2 section. See, all of mine have above 3,000. That's why I'm done with them. Now I'll go to C6, and I'll go to C2. I'll go to C2 and check that one and see if any of those people do black work. Let's see. Yep, I'm waiting on him. Let's see what he's done. All right. I've already, he's just uploading work. All right. Okay. And I'll assign his grade.
How many?
And I'll submit that. All right, so then I go to Full Grade Center and look. And so this one, as you can see, I'm not sure she's going to make it. She hadn't done anything. I sent her an email last week. She did go into Blackboard yesterday, but I sent her a, hey, where are you, email last week. The rest of these are all good. This one is getting close. She made it on the nose. This one's there. Let's see where Leon is. Leon's getting close. He's within 175 points now. And so I monitor these all the time. And I know, and I send them emails, hey, I haven't heard from you this week. I'd like for you to, get back in touch with me. Are you still there? Then when we get down to the end of the semester, last day this morning, as I said, I sent them emails this morning and said, this is your point total individual. I didn't do it as a group, but before that I had all my classes, hey, this is your point total. This is what you need. Let me show you that email. So I'd like to encourage you to look at yours tonight. If you've got people that aren't where they need to be, shoot them an email, and it should look something. I'll forward you my email. It looks something like this. This is what I sent this morning. I made a little form. I do it every semester. where, let's see. It says, greetings, this is a reminder that the summer session ends today and grades will be assigned Wednesday. You can continue to upload until Wednesday morning. Please be reminded of what points you need. You know, and I've got it spelled out for them, and this is in the course syllabus. It's just a reminder. And I gave him his current point total. Now, if he wants to stay there, he'll get a B plus or whatever if he wants to stay there. But obviously he didn't, because he just turned another document in to be graded. So he's at 28.25 now. And so I only had 4 that weren't where they needed to be in terms of making their A, and I sent them an email this morning. So I'd like for you to go ahead tonight and look at where your students are. If they don't have an A, you know, encourage them to finish out and send the rest of their work. Anything less than an A, we'd like for them to continue doing their work. So that should be it. So I've run through quickly how to make sure you get your grades in. Again, don't give anything less than a B unless you let me know. Otherwise, we'll have trouble, and I'll have to go through an appeals process to get it changed. Review in each of the course shells. Let me go back to that. You know that in each of the course shells, I have the incomplete policy and the withdrawal policy. Before you assign or agree to a withdrawal, make sure you know the policy. We'll have to get the associate provost to sign off on that. So we don't give those without running it up the ladder as well, making sure everybody is in agreement that we can do that, that they meet the policy. There's actually a medical committee they have to meet for with supply documentation if they get a medical withdrawal. So let's make sure that we cover all of our policies and make sure that we're within law on everything that we do. Okay. And to sum up, if you didn't send your self-evaluation to Dr. Boyles this spring when he sent that out, go ahead and send it to me. I'll get it to Dr. Bull, or you can send it straight to Dr. Bull. All right, I think that's everything I have on my agenda for the evening. If there's any questions, now would be the time.
How about on graduation on Saturday? Where should I be you and what time?
All right, everybody's invited, as you know. You got to have your regalia. Yours came in today, Sarah. I'll pick it up tomorrow and have it in my office down in Craig. It came in. Luann called me today. So your regalia is here. If you're coming and you want to march with us, you need to have your regalia. You need to be, the students have to be here at 8:30. We leave Craig at, we have to be there a half an hour before. And so we leave Craig about 9:20. We go as a group. We walk across campus at 9:20. We have to be there at 9:30 to get in line, and we'll line up. Dr. Whitaker, you and I may leave earlier than that and walk over to Dover and see the students while they're over there, and to introduce you to Luann. She wanted to meet with you briefly, or just meet you briefly. But we'll leave about 9:15 or 9:20. We'll walk across campus. We're going to the gym, Convocation Center. Now, if you don't want to participate in the service, you can go in and sit in the audience. If you don't want to participate, if you don't want to march in with the faculty. And of course, you can always just come at noon to the Tucker Center. I'll be out in the concourse next to the alumni sign-up desk. And I'll have the certificates. They came in today. Yay. The certificates came in today from Jostens, the university approved ones that I'll be giving out. We got that approved and we started doing that last semester. So if we just find somebody to pay for them besides me, we'll be good.
What's your office number, Dale?
PD.
I'm 106E in that inside loop. We'll all be milling around.
Okay.
But I'm in 106E in the inside loop. Jeff's moved over next to me, so if you see him, we're all in that little inside loop of offices there. And of course, there'll be people down toward the dean's office. Everybody will be milling around. Everybody will be there on Saturday.
Okay.
But I'll be in about 8, I'm guessing, and then we'll go over about 9:15. But we'll be hanging around. I'm always there early. I'll have already gone over and checked and delivered the list and make sure we don't have any interlopers at graduation. We have that from time to time. People show up with their family too embarrassed to say they didn't get through, and demand to march. We didn't have one last semester. We had one semester before at Christmas. We had one that demanded to march, said all of his family had come in. You're not even close. We could find somebody on the streets as close to graduation as you are, just at random. But they put him in line and let him march. He got a blank cover, but we don't like to do that if at all possible. So I'll have to go over and deliver the list. I've already sent it to the registrar, but I always go over and double check when we're at the lineup and giving instructions. Since we have had that problem in the past, they requested I stop by. So I'll do that, but I'll be around. We'll leave about 9:15, but I'll be around. You can always catch me on my cell. But I'd love for as many of you to come as possible. It's always good to have a unified front and for everybody to see. And a lot of the students who work with you want to see you at graduation. Take pictures. And we'll do that up in the breezeway at Tucker. We normally get a little area in there, but I'll be out there and we'll be handing those certificates out. All right.
Now, is there any more discussion
Pardon?
about the PD in August?
Oh, the PD in August. Well, I sent out an email that we would be doing that on that Monday at 9 o'clock. Dr. Bull, I think, is with us tonight, the new dean. Let's see if he's still with us. There he is. Dr. Bull?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Congratulations and welcome to our event tonight. The question was, and I've sent out an email to the adjuncts. We will be doing our faculty professional development for MELS on Monday, August. What day is that? I put in the email.
August 13th.
It should be the
August 13th.
no, following Monday.
Or the week after will be the 20th.
Yes. Monday, August 20th. We're going to do faculty training that day starting. We'll do it virtually starting at 9 a.m. Dr. Bull believes that we will be able to do one later, either in the fall or, I don't want to put words in his mouth, or at the break, face-to-face, but the one in August will be virtual. We have a lot going on with CAPE. The week prior, we have new faculty orientation on Monday, regular faculty retreat on Tuesday, Wednesday. The School of Ed's going to be working on CAPE on Thursday and Friday till at least lunchtime on Friday. And so we can't squeeze in a face-to-face at this time. And so we're going to do a virtual staff development, and I'm going to do class shells and have all those ready, and we'll do we'll do TaskStream and Blackboard, and we'll do Zoom on Monday the 20th at 9 a.m. Check your email. I sent you an email notice at the end of last week.
Could I ask a question also? You may not want to answer it tonight, but I have a couple of students that are changing schools, and in looking down the road towards 605, I'm wanting to know if there's any suggestions that I should be making so that their transition is going to be as painless as possible.
Okay. Number one, have them go to Web Connect, not Blackboard. Have them go to Web Connect and go to maintain information on your screen.
Okay, it's not that they know about changing principles and all that.
Yes, but there's a form in here. Make sure that they fill out the form, update site supervisor.
They know about that.
Okay, that's good. Now, the second thing, once they've done that, that allows us to get them in the system, and we'll probably want to go out and meet their new principal, but I can't get you paid for going out and visiting the new principal until that form is filled out.
Right.
So that's the first thing has to happen. and double check with them, although they might know to do that. I don't want to send somebody out on a visit that I can't get them reimbursed.
Right.
So make sure they filled out their form, and once that form has been received and that new person is now in the system, then the CC1 can be paid to go out and visit them.
Right.
And get a reimbursement on your travel. You're going to get paid anyway, but you got to get your travel reimbursed.
Okay. It's the school improvement action plan that I'm building toward. What is it? Is there recommendations you have for making it easier, since some of that is pulling things forward and they're going to have 2 schools involved? And if there's stuff they need to be doing early, I want to start dovetailing them into it so they don't have a heart attack.
Yes. The issue with that is it's okay to have 2 different schools as long as the individual evidence artifact came from one school.
Okay, that's happening. Yeah, they're redoing.
As long as that's happening, we're good. What we can't have is individual tasks from a specific evidence come from different schools.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because
they can assimilate it in the shop when they put their school improvement plan together. They can assimilate it if it 2 different schools, as long as the individual evidence that they wrote it from came from a school.
Right. Okay. Each one, that will be correct, because that's what I told them.
To do. Good question.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Other questions? That's a good one.
I guess I just need to wrap up. I just want to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank Dale for the amazing work he's doing, and in making sure that adjuncts are kept abreast of development practices and things that we need to do for our candidates. This is a requirement of CAPE to make sure that our adjuncts are just as knowledgeable as our faculty. And during a CAPE visit, which is going to be in April 14 through 16 of 2019, they may request to interview adjuncts as to their involvement and participation and in the decision-making process of Gardner-Webb. So I'm really excited with what I'm seeing and how Dr. Lamb is conducting the process with his team. And so in that vein, also, let me just take this opportunity to say that we would need from you a current CV. It's documentation that we have to show for CAPE. And in the CV, at some point in time, Dr. Lamb would address key requirements of CAPE for those who are teaching within the umbrella of CAPE. But simply, they want you to address in the last 3 years of your CV, which it should be there, any professional development activities, research work, or service that you have done within the realm of P12 or P20 education. So if you're on a school board or participating in the PTA or any of those things, it will be helpful to get that and to make sure we have that. Also moving forward, adjuncts are required to complete their annual evaluations, because CAPE would want us to know how are we measuring our adjuncts as it relates to that. In the faculty handbook of Gardner-Webb, there is a form designed for that process, and I will discuss with Dr. Lamb as to how to go about that and make sure that he collects that information regularly from you to make sure we have that piece. And the process also, we are going to is that adjunct performance is going to be measured in different ways from instruction and also from observations and participation.
Where's my volume?
program coordinator who will make recommendations
Is there a phone number you can call?
Just go.
as to assignments for adjuncts every semester. I say that to say that the adjunct position is not a permanent position. That's why it's called adjunct. It's a semester to semester, and we will be evaluating our adjuncts to make sure that they are implementing best practices and performing at the level at which they should be performing. And that decision is going to be left with the program coordinator, Dr. Lam, who in consultation with other faculty members in the department and with me would make recommendations as to assignments for every semester. And so don't be troubled if we ask you to fill out another form or send in information. It is just a process we are putting in place to let CAPE know that we evaluate and monitor our adjuncts each semester, and the assignment is not permanent and forever without any process of vetting who teaches under the umbrella of CAPE. And so that's all I have to say. I just want to thank you again for the amazing service and dedication to Gardner Webb. We will do all we can to make sure you get all the resources to teach, to implement, and find money to do a retreat and make sure the needs that you have are addressed in terms of resources. So on behalf of the leadership, I just want to thank you all for taking care of our best assets, our candidates.
All right.
Dale?
Thank you. All right, so what I'll do, as I said earlier, if you have the one from the spring and you sent it to Bruce, it should be on file. If you didn't send one now. Again, just Google the faculty handbook, and it's again on page 94. There is a form for you to do a self-assessment. You can get that to me and I'll get it to Dr. Bull. And then the other part of this, which is my part or the dean's part, I'm not sure again if it was done this spring or not. I was not a part of that. And so if it's not been done, we'll do it. That won't be a problem, but make sure you get that. So when I send you the copy of this video, when I send it out tonight, when I send out the email, I'll put a reminder in the email that we need all adjuncts. We need a current CV, and we need a statement of your professional development in the last 3 years. Those are 2 things that we need from you going forward. And then we'll go from there. All right. Anybody else have anything for the good of the group? How much overtime did I go tonight? How much do I got to kick into the kitty for going overtime tonight? What time is it? All right, let me move that out of the way.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you. I'm under time. Oh, I don't know anything tonight. Look at me. I finished 17 minutes early. Can't believe it. Miracles do happen. Power of prayer. All right. Let me know if there's anything with student grading that I need to be aware of before we step in a hole. Let's try to avoid doing something that we don't need to do. So I appreciate all you've done this semester. Again, we'll be back online on the 20th at 9 a.m. I'll get you more information in terms of an agenda. Check your email. I sent that to you at the end of last week, and I hope to see you Saturday. Danny, give me a call when you can.
Okay.
All right. Everybody have a good evening.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.